famous Chazal, the Rashi cites at the very beginning of the Parsha, that the paragraph structure of the Parsha is referred to as Parsha Stuma. It's a sealed Parsha. Why is it a Parsha Stuma? Loma Parsha Stuma, L'fi Shekeven Shenifta Yaakov Avinu, that when Yaakov Avinu passed away, Nisbu Eineim V'Liben Shel Yisrael Mitzaras HaShibud, the eyes and the hearts of Klal Yisrael became sealed because of the issue of the shibud, the bondage. So the Sif Chacham immediately addresses the point that the actual bondage did not start till the whole generation passed away. So if that's the case, what does it mean? At the moment Yaakov passed away, the shibud began, the tzaras shibud. He explains, we find that the bondage started with perach. The Gemara tells us what's perach, perach. That initially Paro, he began sweet talking us, trying to convince us in a very convincing way we should participate in the building of the country, advancing its economy, whatever it may be. There were distractions. This is the tzaras shibud. We're not speaking about physical bondage, but already the distraction began. That distraction is tzaras shibud. As long as Yaakov was alive, the Jews were held at such a level of esteem and were revered, they weren't approached whatsoever. They lived totally in their insular environment, that there was no distraction. They didn't have to be concerned about anything. It's only once Yaakov passed away that aura was lessened, now it began seeping in, distractions became. So we see, so what's shibud? Chazal tell us, Barosi Yitzhar Barosi Torah Tavlin, that the only antidote to the Yitzhar is Torah itself. If a person will be at the most advanced level of Torah without any distraction, the Yitzhara, the evil inclination, is totally sealed off, and we're able to repel any approach. He can't approach us. But what happens? We're not functioning at the maximum. We have distractions. We're not fully to the degree that we could be immersed. We're not. Then we're ready. It begins diminishing us, and that's the tzaras shibud. Chazal tell us that there was a special, which is explicit in Torah, relation between Yisachar and Zvulun, which was established by Yaakov Avinu, and the words of the Medrash, the words state that Zvulun was some ochel b'peshel Yisachar, to the degree they would put the food directly into the mouth of Yisachar. Yisachar had no level of distraction, never had to think for a moment about his physical needs, his physical amenities. It was cared by, it was covered, it was addressed by Zvulun to such a degree of responsibility. Zvulun did not want Yisachar to be distracted as much as Nayota. And therefore the Gemara says that we find that Yisachar referred to known as Yodei Itim, in terms of their level, their acuity of clarity, of making mathematical calculations or other things in halacha. Whenever there was a question to resolve an issue or to say something where there may be some inconsistency, they would present to Yisachar, and Yisachar were able to resolve it because they would have had that one of level of clarity. But why did they have that clarity? Because there was no distraction. They had to think about nothing but Torah itself, only spirituality. The moment Yaakov passed away, we had to contend with these issues. Of course, it says, Amram told him, don't get involved with the perach. Don't in any way show them your ability, your potential. So to all issues, even though we may succeed creating fences, but that we have to contend with these issues, those issues themselves, to contend with them, that's a distraction from Torah. Although it says, Asay siyog the Torah, but you only make the siyog because we're becoming vulnerable to whatever those issues may be. That's the tzaras shibud. The tzaras shibud is that as long as we have that refuge of Torah, we're safe. The moment that refuge is breached, that immunity, the spiritual immunity of Klal Yisrael is breached to any degree, that's already tzaras shibud. We're being compromised. We're in a position we could be compromised. And as a result of this is the machlokes, Reb Shimon Yochai and Reb Shmuel, that Reb Shmuel says You have to, this is the midah go'olam. A Jew has to conduct himself, which we'll discuss more at length. B'Shem Yechoy says no, that if a person goes and he's committed to Torah, and Osa Ritzonu Shel Mokom, Malach Nasa Shdei Acherim, you don't even have to think about it. Hashem will allow you to be seen and revered, that others will want to do your bidding. They will assume those are responsible. You don't have to be concerned about these things. But if you are concerned about it, that's considered Ein Osa Ritzonu Shel Mokom, that's a distraction, and there is that level of vulnerability.